What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav Show YouTube channel, and also live from Travis's X. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. And to my right today, you don't see my esteemed co-host, brother and friend, Travis J. Davidson, because he will be in here shortly. But you do see a friend of the show. We might as well call him Cousin Jay, because he's on here so much from time to time.
Love that.
Love having him on, and decided to ask him to come on before this big game this weekend. So without further ado, my guy from Unfair Sports, Jay Smith, and also Lockdown Sooners. Jay, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, my man? I appreciate you having me. Absolutely. Got my toothbrush still back there in the back room, so I'm excited about talking some ball, man.
Yeah, no, it should be fun. It should be fun. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're gonna recap a few plays from South Carolina game, Jay. We do a little review powered by our guy Sooner Gridiron, who cuts up the film for Trav and I and sends it to us.
Nice.
So our weekly plug to make sure you guys go and follow him on X, because it's a shame and a travesty what happened to his account. He had almost 100,000. Something crazy happened. Now he's only still at 3,500. He's way too good of an account for that. Go run his numbers up. Check him out. That's our guy. But yeah, let's go ahead and start a little bit with just talking on what we saw from the Sooners against South Carolina. As again, we saw a domination from start to finish, really as a team. The offense didn't necessarily put up like gigantic numbers, but they controlled the game. And the defense was what we expected the defense to be.
Exactly. It looked good. I know some people were kind of down on the idea of domination. We dominated them. If you take out the 59 yards on that final drive, basically where it was garbage time, nobody really cared. They had like 65 yards total. That's pretty low if you really think about it, right? That was nowhere near South Carolina's number this season, because I think they're well over 300 in total offense. But holding them to 165 yards before that final drive, and then Jacoby Johnson getting the interception, that's domination, dog. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You dominated them if you're holding the team to barely just over 150 yards in a game, especially an SEC team with a quarterback that was considered, a Heisman potential.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And we welcome in Travis J. Davison, co-host of the JP and Trav Show, and
Still world champ.
just got to rub it in my face once again after we did the ceremony last night. Still world champ.
Yeah, I mean, no J Dub,
Yeah, I know it was.
No Isaiah Joe. I guess they were missing Fred Van Vliet. Oh, shiver me timbers. But able to get it done. Kevin Durant tries to lose the game by missing the free throw, sending it to overtime. Then tries to lose the game again by calling a timeout that they didn't call, which should have resulted in technical free throws. But then he finally succeeds in blowing the game when he bites on a pump fake against the reigning finals MVP, reigning scoring champ, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So, got to rock the double team, Thunder Polo. And yeah, I think we got like 8 players out. So I think we're just playing like 4 or 5 guys against our next opponent. I don't even know who it is. Probably some scrubs. Oh yeah, we got the Pacers mix. I forgot we got them tomorrow night. So, interesting. So, so Derek Hamilton, what's up? Good to see you. Derek and I linked up down there in Tunica when I was Tunica Trav. So, but yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this one, and I'm excited to have Jay on with us. I'll tell you what, the travel schedule, she is daunting. I forgot that my buddy was like, "Hey, you're going to Monday Night Football with me on this week, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." So Kansas City, here I come. So I'll be going to that Monday night game, leave Sunday for that, get back Tuesday, leave Thursday for Tennessee, be in Knoxville and do that whole thing. So back to Tunica to see my boy Derek and the coolest bartender in the state of Mississippi, Mr. Joseph. So anyways, excited about this one. You know, number 8 team in the country coming to Norman, Oklahoma. Sorry I was a little bit late, having some technological issues, but we are back at it. So
yes. And Trev, we were just discussing South Carolina game. We're about to go into the film here in a second, but Jay was just talking about how if you look at it statistically, it was domination. We know that, the final score didn't maybe make people think of the Lincoln Riley years with the 40s and the 50s. But at the end of the day, it was a 19-point road win on the road. I actually clipped Gabe up and posted it on my X yesterday because he read something off of their fan mail, and he looks at Ted and he goes, "Why are fans so negative, dude?" It was, I was rolling because I was like, he's just saying what we've been saying. We can't take a 19-point win on the road in the SEC. We're not talking about what Brent was talking about, the old days of the Big 12 when it's a dub when you go into 2006 Baylor.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Trav, give your thoughts, man, and then we'll look at some plays.
Yeah, I mean, with me, first of all, you brought up dominating the old Big 12. I would not be honest with people if I didn't say I've been enjoying dunking all over that loser conference, the Big 12. They don't have a single, of all the TV ratings of all the games played this year, the Big 12 does not have a Big 12 on Big 12 matchup in the top 35 games. It's fallen off.
Holy War?
Holy War was not. Only averaged 2.1 million people. Or only topped at 2.1. Yeah, that's gross. That is gross.
That's disgusting.
I mean, so here's the thing. Big 12, their senior director of content that, wanted to clap at Brent about something that he said that was true, that they took out of context. Maybe instead of, scrolling Twitter and trying to dunk on coaches by taking stuff out of context, maybe try and figure out a way to get more eyeballs on your teams, because the next round of TV negotiations is going to send Big 12 schools into bankruptcy. Nobody's watching the games. Everybody wants to say, oh, man, everybody's worried about viewership now. I like to enjoy football regardless of how many viewers. Does not matter. I'll go watch high school football. I still enjoy watching football. But you can't be a conference employee or whatever and look at OU in Texas and start taking shots at one of them on Twitter as if it's anything but you just being bitter that whoever probably sent that tweet probably will get laid off in 4 or 5 years because the conference won't have enough money to pay you. So, I mean, I've had a blast picking on Big 12 fans because now, I mean, hey, OSU sure got banana conga lines and, 1,000 dudes spinning their shirts over there like Petey Pablo. But you know what they don't have? A conference win in the last 2 years. So, I mean, I don't know. They're going to go 2 whole years without ever winning a conference game. But, hey, you remember all the good times we had? All right, cool. If you guys just want to be the new Baylor, or whatever. If you guys just don't want to compete with stuff anymore, you can still talk about your eternal bedlam and this, that, and the other. But, oof, I couldn't imagine rooting for a team that I just didn't expect to win a conference game that year. Ooh.
2 years in a row.
Ugh. 2 years in a row.
Woof.
But yeah, sorry, I'm coming with all kinds of heat right out of the gate. But basically, yeah, man, those Big 12 people, man, when those ratings came out, I was like, yep, this is the battle you guys are fighting. 2.1 million viewers. So, anyways, on to the South Carolina review. I'll tell you what, I love going to South Carolina. I recommend anybody that next time we go there, please go there. It is a blast. And it's good when you win by double. I mean, we emptied out their stadium. There was 8 minutes, or there was 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and people are filing out of the stadium because, like, you can see over the edge of the road, thousands of people trying to cross the road to get out of that stadium. I mean, yeah. I expected to win the football game. I did not expect to empty the home field by the time the fours went up. Like, that's crazy to me.
Domination, man. The fans saw it. The fans, hell, I remember as I'm listening to it on the TV broadcast, I'm listening to the boos every time we get a sack or we got to stop. You hearing them booing their team. I mean, people have been saying it's like crazy online. I didn't want to initially believe it, but now I'm in that camp, man. I think Beamer's going to take the Vitek job because he ain't going to last long in that town. He's maybe got one more season because this could go really bad over the next few weeks. Really bad. And if it ends up going bad, they may not win a game to wrap up the year. There's a chance for that.
They got a rough schedule. And, I mean, to think that at the beginning of the year, we were looking at them as one of the tough teams that we were going to face. And, you know, they started the year ranked 11th, and, you know, things happen. But we're going to pop into some Isaiah Sategna plays, who's been, you know, OU's best wide receiver thus far this season. And, you know, he's made play after play. You know, certainly there's one drop he wants back on, you know, the drive in and out that he, you know, had in his hands. But he's been our most consistent receiver. So, you know, let's take a gander at some of these. You know, great design by Ben, get him on the zig. But, man, I mean, just the shiftiness that he had. Let's rewatch that.
Guys,
his punt return prowess was here, too. Get the ball to your playmakers in space. Whoop.
How long has it been since we had a guy that made guys miss like this?
Right.
Well, and what I like about it is he's got this move right here where he goes to the outside and he plants that foot, and the DB always goes past him. And the reason that I wanted to bring this one up is because when the field is wet, when the grass field is wet this weekend, that move, if Isaiah can plant that DB is going to fly out of bounds. So that's the key. And Barks was doing it too, but sometimes that's all you need to do. Plant that outside foot. And Mateer was putting it on that outside shoulder. And that's what you have to do. You have to give them the opportunity to catch that ball on the outside shoulder and then rip it back inside. And that's what he continued to do.
That was his best attribute the entire game for both of them. Yeah. And like you said, giving Mateer his flowers too, because he could have put them in harm's way. Because that pass he threw to Burks across the middle, that Burks calling that outside shoulder and turned around and the DB was lost. You had a linebacker coming at him head up. You had a safety coming down. Oh, and when I saw Gabe and Teddy going through that, I was like, oh, yeah, Mateer saved his boy. Now, he did a couple other throws where he was kind of, you know, putting people in the danger area. But this touchdown pass, perfect. Yeah. He's looking at the self, looking to the left, pump it, and then launching it. I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. And he put it in the spot to where Sategna didn't get leveled again or he get picked. So his ball placement looks a lot better. I think that thumb or grip that he needs, it seems like it's better. Hell, Burke saw it before he caught it. He's like,
touchdown. Yeah.
I love how they celebrate each other too.
It was great ball placement. I think you're right. I think Mateer doesn't, you know, Mateer won't say this. And again, it still didn't change his decision making against Texas. But, you know, I think it's not unreasonable to believe that not only with non-preparation, but like coming into your first game, and it's still probably a little sore. Probably not to the point where he can throw it well, decent enough. But, you know, to maybe where you're able to control the ball exactly the way you want it to, I can see how maybe he's getting more and more comfortable with that.
Well, and also comfortable with his preparation, right? He doesn't have to think about his hand. It's like you can think about what the defense is doing. You can move your protection around pre-snap. You can think about what you're checking in and checking out of. You can think about your different RPO options in front of you. I understand that RPO options is redundant, but you all get what I'm saying. So with that, if you don't have to think about your hand, all of those things become so much more clear. Those reads become so much more clear.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think that there's been some frustration on my part with, I think, obviously, you know, we know Gerald McCoy called some of our fan base out as well, just or the quote unquote fans, right? That like to be very super negative all the time. But just seeing some people say like Mateer can't throw the ball and that he's this, he's that. And I'm like, before he was injured, there's a lot of people, I mean, not only talking him up in the Heisman, but like people that watch film that were talking about, his ball placement, even some of the early interceptions, how the ball was actually where it was supposed to be and it was on the receiver. And so to say that John, who had at that point was leading the SEC in passing yards, cannot throw the football well or place it is not true. You see some of the throws that we were seeing against Michigan and even Auburn, even after he was hurt, like he layers plenty of throws, and he has done that. We just haven't seen it since the injury. And so it'll be interesting to see how that continues to flesh out, kind of like you were alluding to, Trev. But bigger than that is the running game actually got going on Saturday in South Carolina. Torrey Blaylock as the feature back, and this was first play, first running play we had. Second and 20, you're like, oh, here we go again.
Well, and that's the thing, that here we go again situation. You could feel it, man. Like Oklahoma starts, it's it's a holding penalty, it's a false start. They're backed up. The home crowd's into it, and you just thought, here we go again. Last year they started off, the game was over in the first 6 minutes. All of a sudden, Oklahoma, the first 2 plays is going backwards. So that run was just, man, it's exactly what the doctor ordered for Sooner Nation, for the players, I'm sure. Everything like that going, okay, cool. Not only is it not going to be like that again, but we got out of it by running the ball. So I think that was a really big deal.
Yeah. And Torrey, go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Torrey on this touchdown run. Little Caden Helms action, getting a couple blocks.
Blocking his tail off.
Yeah, getting a little tripped up, and it's good to see him out there healthy, man. Big body doing some good things. But Torrey, man, I feel like it's a matter of time. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like it's a matter of time before Torrey breaks one. He seems to have that speed, right? When he hits that hole, just like there, if I'm telling you, if he can make somebody miss, there's opportunity. He
feels more comfortable in the offense.
Yeah.
To where he's taking more of those quote unquote risks with his runs, where he's like, all right, I'm going to hit this hole. I'm just going to hit it hard. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go. And you're starting to see him pick up bigger chunk plays. The blocking, of course, is better, but I think some of these chunk plays have been there this season. We just haven't been we've been stuttering. You've been chopping our feet, trying to see where the hole is and then go instead of just hitting it and keeping it going. And kind of as Derek mentioned, Helms was out there blocking his butt off on a lot of those plays. Yeah. At least getting in the way. Like, to me, I don't need my tight ends ramming into those edges. I need them to just be in the way, so the running back can have an additional couple seconds to just run past these dudes. Because, like you said, Torrey's got the speed to do it. Yeah. X-Rob even showed some of the speed. Like this play here, he was just in the way. By being in the way, X-Rob can run up the sideline. We need more of that than I need them to be physical with people, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And I know Gabe talked about a little bit on their breakdown, like they were flying up the field, making it a little easier for us to, have that kick out block. But yeah, seeing Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock, Xavier Robinson's a little bit bigger, but he even still has some speed on him and doing well. You can see what he's been doing in strength conditioning, what Schmitty's done with him. And then this one, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little nervous with that one when the ball popped up. I was like, no, not again.
So I'll tell you a story on this play. So I'm sitting on the very left side of the press box.
Yeah.
The next the wall dividing me and the next box, that's the home coaches. So all those coaches are up in the booth, and you can hear them very clearly. So twice on this play, F-bomb pounding on the table. Sound like they were pounding on the wall. F-bomb pounding on the table, and then F-bomb pounding on the table again. I think this outside linebacker that's standing up right here in front of Fasusi, he's in perfect position on this play. If you go ahead and roll it, when he basically just escorts him in, that's when the first expletive dropped. Look at this. So he doesn't really get blocked up all that much.
Yeah.
and he's bobbling the ball.
Watch this. He's right here. The ball
Yeah.
is in the air right now.
Yep.
That should be a TFL if this guy knows what he's doing. But Xavier is able to corral it, get upfield, and look at this. He's still got him dead to rights.
But he's standing straight up.
But exactly. But the coaching staff is looking like, all right, we got this right. Like, this is exactly what we want to happen.
Oh, he really is dead.
That's
Like, that's
Mr.
like
Go 30.
one-on-one. Wow.
That's Mr.
Yeah.
Go 30 film right there. Look at Davis. Just look at him.
He's pissing down his leg.
Pushing down his leg. Didn't hit the weight room. Yeah.
And then just Olayed him.
That was
That
a
was
pure
bad.
Olay. That's so bad.
And then they had, right here, it was the other one, the other expletive that dropped. So, I mean, this angle is crazy. Look at this. I mean, I don't know if he took that right step out to try and go with Mateer, but he's staring at the ball.
Yeah.
And he hits him with a left hand, kind of
He just
Olay type
whiffed.
vibe.
He completely Olayed. I wonder if he thought he was going to punch the ball out the air because he was, juggling a little bit, that he could
You ain't
punch it
arm
out.
tackling Xavier Robinson. And then 14, here we go. You're coming off this block. Nope.
Cut.
And Heath Ozaitis going, get over there.
Here, let
The
me
other
carry
way.
you in there. Let me just carry you into the
Hey, we actually made people miss on Saturday, which we've been talking about a lot. Like, can our running backs make people miss? And they did. They did enough, and it showed. That teach tape is going to be bad for number 12. That was rough.
That was so bad.
Yeah. Actually, we not gonna get copyrighted. We figured it out, Kirby. Don't worry. We got a system now. We've been copyrighted
Yep.
for weeks, so we'll be all right.
Oh, word? I'm at to learn from y'all then.
Well, not for monetization purposes, yes, but not for like we've been
Oh, you
actually
get strikes.
we've
Yeah,
been, like, we've been kicked off before
Oh, really? Be
Yes,
kicked off midstream
yeah.
because of it?
because we had noise. Like, yeah, our stream got put down, but
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't use any sound
Yeah.
in any of the video I use, and that
Yeah.
typically helps.
now let's talk about real quick a couple more plays to look out here, and then we'll get to our review of Ole Miss. Let's talk about our kicker. I mean,
We better not be
Jay
jinxing
Sandell
him,
is
but
a
the
legitimate-
dude's a monster.
oh my gosh, a legitimate weapon, man. Man, my computer is tripping right now.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody. I was
Hey, I
like,
know,
oh,
right?
man. I was like, I got
Like,
real
close
big
up.
for a second. Yeah, my goodness.
I mean, this is 55 yards, guys. It's 55
That
yards.
is so crazy.
And it was good
Yeah.
from deeper.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, look at this. I mean, he makes that look like a 35-yard field goal, 40-yard field goal. Look at where it's going through the uprights at. That would have been good from 60, dude.
No, that was
65, maybe. I mean,
It's impressive.
yeah.
He
You
fired
get,
He
up.
was.
you get to be pumped up after that.
Yeah, I just need Miller to get back on track. This was a brutal game for him in the punt game.
Yeah, he had two bad ones. He
Yeah.
had two bad ones. Then he locked him
was.
inside the 5, and everything was good. I think here's what I think happened with Grayson Miller. Okay, I get it. Blocks in the back against Texas, whatever. But he saw a Texas return man go right by him for a touchdown. When he put the ball in the perfect spot, he put it right next to the sideline when everybody knew where that ball was going. It should not have been a return. The guy never left the numbers on the whole return. So this kid, South Carolina's kid, has 3 touchdown returns this year, or a career, I think. And that's on the scouting report. And it's like, hey, look, this kid's a monster. And I think the week after Grayson saw somebody return one, I think he was in his head. And I think he mishit it. I don't know if he was trying to kick it out of bounds away from him, but then just like shanked it. But yeah, I think that was more in his head. I don't think that's the Grayson Miller we're going to see moving forward. I think the Grayson Miller we're going to see moving forward is the same guy that came in top 5 in the country in punt average.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that. I was a little concerned. I was like, man, there's some brutal punts, but That does that actually does kind of make sense. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean he's had a lot of punts, been good all year, and then all of a sudden, it looked like he was trying to do too much to try and keep it away from that guy, and eventually, a 19-yard punt is how how that ends up, and then he pins him inside the 5, and we get points off the drive because when they punt it back to us, we're basically already in field goal range. JP cracking a cold one.
Yes, a cold tea.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this guy who's become, just a monster. Okay, that's the wrong play. I'm sorry.
That was a great punt, though. I think Miller probably saw that and got a little nervous. Like, might lose my job.
Yep.
Yeah. This is clipped as something else. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we just clipped it. This was a great punt by John Material. Elijah Thomas getting down there.
Yeah, that's so impressive. Elijah Thomas. That's the thing. Continuing to make plays on special teams, and theoretically, what does every coach tell you? Hey, if you make plays on special teams, that's how you make your way onto the field. You hear that at every level.
The room is so big, so deep, though. We could use them in some more plays.
Well, yeah, the room's deep, but we'll never know because Emmett plays 3 dudes all year.
Really does.
He rotates less than everybody in the country. It's like NFL style do that, but he rotates less than everybody in the country, which is fine. I mean, I got no problems with Satania Burks and now Giovanni. Now that Keontae, he's kind of taking Keontae's
a little, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just theoretically, we heard all offseason about how Elijah Thomas was this freak athlete and this, that, and the other. And I know they don't care about red shirts anymore, but his red shirt's gone because he's just been a gunner all year.
And that's kind of what I was thinking about with Zion Kearney and why he hasn't played. I'm wondering, because he's only hit 4 games, I'm wondering if they're trying to redshirt him, which is, of course, still odd, but I don't know.
Maybe, but it's crazy the fact that Emmett just does not sub anymore, which is, again, fine. I mean, I'm fine with all those 3 receivers, but it's crazy because him and DeMarco share an offensive, side of the ball, share position meetings and whatnot as for the offensive meetings. DeMarco is like, I'm going to spread the ball to 5 backs. And Emmett's like, I'm only playing these 3 guys the entire year. I don't care if Keontae Lewis runs through a brick wall or runs through the crown of somebody's helmet with his face mask. We're putting him back out there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what I was getting to is this guy right here makes biggest hit we've seen since week 1.
Yep.
Where Kenneth Daniels laid that Michigan running back out.
Yeah, 2. Michigan.
2. Yeah, 2.
Wait, 2.
Hey, man, I do feel like there is a weekly bounty or bet between Powers, Boganowski, and Daniels to see who can get the biggest hit of the week. It feels like it. Because the way he lost his mind on the sideline, that's amazing.
Pretty sure that there is one between Powers and Boganowski.
Yeah.
It's been referenced in a post-game interview, and then they were like, we just kind of have fun. I'm like, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, you know what we do. Yeah, we want to see who can.
But yeah, that's a big hit right there.
Oh, I was about to crash out too.
Legal too.
Oh, you can see Kip crashing out on the sideline.
Right.
I was like, there's no way. That's a textbook tackle. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh yeah, Boga's going crazy right there.
Yeah, he completely crashed out. Completely. Kip does on the other. If you see the other side of it, as soon as the flag goes out, Kip is just losing it. Watch it.
Right.
Hit, boom. The flag flies, and there he is jumping up and down.
Yeah,
which is even funnier, the fact that you don't even have your starters in the game for this play, right? You see in the rotations of Sammy, you see Jaden Hardy up there. The snaps is the big thing that I always try to keep up with the players to see how the rotations go. And BV is sticking to his guns of making sure some of the young players play in critical moments to get that experience going into next year, which means next season his defense should be pretty consistent to what it is this year because he's making sure everybody plays. I love that.
Yeah, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a lot to the draft, and he knows that for sure. Developing the depth and everything, and I think he looks at the back half of the schedule as well, Jay. I think he looks at it and says,
True.
"Man, the healthiest team, especially if we make the playoffs, that's another X number of games. If somehow we make the SEC title game, that's another game." Like I think you're going to look down the stretch, especially when you look at some of these Big Ten teams. I mean, Ohio State might have one more ranked team on their schedule. I don't think Indiana has any more ranked teams on their schedule.
Nope.
Illinois has no ranked teams left on their schedule. Like all these teams, like all the conferences, while good, are so top heavy that they have no other ranked teams on their schedule. So Oklahoma is going to be coming into perhaps a postseason, coming off a ton of just grueling games against NFL talent. So I think they're looking at that too, of going, hey, look, let's cut down our snap counts on some of these. I mean, you remember like Danny used to play like what felt like 60 or 70 snaps a game.
Yes.
And like David Stone led all defensive linemen with 39. Like just the number of snaps these guys are playing compared to the number of snaps from a few years ago, it's like they're taking whole games off compared to what Danny and Billy were playing.
I mean, speaking of that Ole Miss defense is going to have a problem because they I don't know if y'all noticed, but they played like 80 something snaps last week.
Yeah, and they're already bad. They're like 108th against the run. They're like 113th in sacks. Like yeah, we should be able to run the ball on them. Should be able to. I know we just got brand new to this running thing, but hopefully it is going to be the worst defense we've played. And to your point, Jay, what's interesting is somebody put up a stat today that the road. So if an SEC team has back-to-back games on the road, SEC teams are 2-6 in the second game.
Ooh.
So that means, I mean, Texas is going to be on the road again. There's 4 teams this week that are on the road at a back-to-back, and Ole Miss at Oklahoma is obviously one of them. And this is where we talk about the schedule where, hey, look, you've got them coming off of Georgia. As you go forward, every team we play for the most part is coming off of a big game. Like even South Carolina was coming off at LSU. They're going to be coming off at Georgia. I think when we play Alabama, they're going to be at Georgia the week before, or at LSU the week before.
Yep.
Like LSU is going to be at. Anyways, however way that works out, like all of them have tough games the week before. So that's way different than last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So tell you, man, it benefits us a lot. The schedule comes out being a lot more favorable for us than people realize, especially because of the timing. The timing to me has been the critical part. We just got to go. I mean, unfortunately, the timing didn't work for the game that definitely was an anomaly. JP, as you pointed that out on social media with the Texas game, that was an anomaly. It just felt like we were feeding into what everybody else was saying instead of focusing on just going out there and beating them. First half, everything we did was supposed to do. The offense didn't figure it out, and so, but then we got it going against South Carolina, and I think it's going to continue. Now, this is the money game for our defense. Ole Miss averaging almost 500 yards a game, like 490 or something like that. If we hold them like we did South Carolina, or at least hold them under 300, defense is legitimate at that point. There's no argument. There's nothing you can say about this defense. We give up 500, then you got questions again.
No, for sure. And when you look at, how they performed against Kentucky early in the year, 30 points, respectable. But LSU, they only put 24 up. Washington State, they only put 24 up. So they can get got. Obviously, they gashed the Georgia defense a week ago. But, I mean, not crazy big-time stats, though, either. I mean, exactly. Chambliss threw for 263. Their leading rusher was Chambliss with 42 yards. So, I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't some big just 600-yard game from the quarterback or 200-yard rusher or anything like that. And this is by far the best defense that Ole Miss has played.
Period. Easily, because Georgia wasn't all that good.
No.
which has been crazy. You know that Georgia has 21 tackles for loss this season?
That's it?
And we have 75. Yes.
Yeah. Because
I
we're
am in
like,
shock.
Wow.
we're way above anybody else. Yeah.
We're
Ole
20
Miss
ahead,
almost
second place.
only has 10 sacks. I mean, that's
Crazy.
terrible.
Yeah.
Especially from where their defensive line was a year ago. I mean, that's
Mhm.
bad.
All those
So,
transfers, they brought in a whole bunch of super senior transfers, basically, and they all gone now.
Yeah.
yeah, and
One
they
of
tried
the
to do it
guys
again, and they just didn't hit
impressed
like they did last year.
Yeah,
is Taylor
fair.
Wine. Looking at last better place before we move on fully to Ole Miss, but
Yeah. This
Taylor
play
Wine
right
is
here.
leading us in tackles for loss, and he's been
hmm
a revelation. I mean, they were talking about him all offseason. He's shown up, man.
Shout out to R. Mason Thomas, SEC Media Days. That was the one thing he said. Everybody, the question was, who do you think is going to be a breakout? And he said, breakout player, Taylor Wine. He's going to
This
be a
was
dude.
dope. Everybody saw this coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I thought about it too. I was like, I think they're doing a fake punt.
Beamer ball. That's what we always say, right? Beamer ball. He's always got something under his sleeve. And it's like, what? I don't know about y'all, but 100% full transparency on this. I felt disrespected by Shane Beamer in this game. He went for 7 fourth downs. I felt disrespected. Like, I felt like he was really like testing us. I'm like, dog, is this what we gonna do today?
Yeah. And honestly, I think he's just feeling the pressure, man. I mean, he's not safe. I think he's seeing guys like James Franklin get fired when he just was in the playoff. Billy Napier getting fired after a win. All these guys. I mean, Sam Pittman gone, obviously Mike Gundy gone, winningest coach in their program history. Like, everybody likes Beamer, but when I was doing post game in Columbia, man, I was doing it in the donor lot because of who he came with, and one guy told me, he goes, I've been donating to this university for 45 years. He said, I'm off the Shane train. He said, can't do it anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, after the game, emotional for sure. But wow. I mean, I like Shane as a dude. I think a lot of people do, but he's feeling the pressure, man. In that post game, he was pissed, like really defensive. But the thing is, like, eventually you got to win games, man. Like, you can be the nicest dude in the world. Eventually you got to win games. And, his coordinator hires have not been inspiring, we'll call it. And that's always the sign of a coach that may be on his way out. Gundy did the same thing. Hired coordinators nobody else wanted. South Carolina, that's some unpopular coordinator hires under. And I think part of it is he's never been a coordinator. So he went from like special teams, tight ends, associate head coach, up to head coach. So I think he almost has this like, you don't have to be a coordinator before to be a coordinator for me. Like, I was never a coordinator, and look at me, I'm head coach. You know who else was never a coordinator before he was made head coach? Sam Pittman. Guess where he is? At the Lake. So, like, there's something to being able to at least call one side of the ball before you're elevated to head coach. And I think some SEC schools are learning the hard way about that.
Or at least hire someone that's actually coached that side of the ball instead. Like Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh is probably the better example in the NFL that did that. He's a special teams guy. And he just hired good people on both. Now, right now, this year ain't going very well. But, yeah, no, to your point, you can't think that everybody can do it the way you did it, because the way you did it wasn't even how you're having them do it. Like you said, he went from a position coach to head coach. So they consider you someone that can actually lead the organization, period, be the CEO. If you're going to hire coordinators, hire guys that have done it before. Hire some experience. Go chase after, if you can. If they give you the option to go for bigger name players, do that. Then you can probably groom somebody underneath them, and then as they go get other jobs, you can go from there. But yeah, if you're going after people that nobody else wants, I mean, heck, Derek Mason leaving Oklahoma State told me everything I needed to know about how they was doing. You mean you get fired from Vandy, you go there, and then after a year, you're like, you know what? I don't even want to do this no more. You're like, oh, no, there's something wrong.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Some people are available for a reason. That goes for everything in life.
Yeah.
Fair point. Very
So
fair point.
moving on to Ole Miss, guys, number 8, and holding it. They're coming into Norman this weekend. Lane, as stirred up some controversy as he normally does.
He's good at it.
Commenting on Brent stealing signals and signs and everything like that, and then one of their reporters threw some kerosene on it by tweeting out an article and posting a play of Peyton Bowen robbing the middle of the field, almost picking a Jackson Arnold pass off, as if that was a sign that was stolen instead of like people actually watching film. So interesting. But what are you guys' thoughts on this weekend's game?
I thought that was funny that Lane said that. I also didn't take it as him saying that BV still signs, and I say that mainly because don't they have headsets now?
Right. Well, they have headsets now, and obviously that came after the Stallions situation. They now have headsets, and his whole proof was, it happened against Auburn. Auburn has like 4 guys on the sideline calling plays, and if they're not switching up their signals, that's on the head coach anyways. Like,
yep,
it's film study. Like if you and tendencies and things, and everybody was like, oh man, in 2023 Texas, Brent had those signs because he knew exactly what was coming, and that's why Gentry picked off that pass. Like, no, that's film study, man. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you have scouts. And that's why they talk about how many people on Nagy's staff that are on the advanced scout team now. Like they treat it like the NFL. Like we've got, we've got guys dedicated. All they do is advanced scout. Like kind of like when Texas hired Gary Patterson, they said, Gary, you've got 2 jobs this year: scout TCU and scout Oklahoma. And if you notice, TCU was really good that year. Texas they had their worst game against Texas, shockingly. And then Oklahoma, they had a great game plan against Oklahoma. When you do that and you only have a few opponents, like you in the Big 12, you get away with it. In the SEC, it's nice when you have an entire staff to do it, like Jim Nagy has and Brent Venables has. So, yeah, it's just if we were cheating so much, we probably wouldn't have, gotten beat by Texas so badly.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a very fair point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't think the comments were. I think there's more of a Lane Kiffin type way of making a comment because that's just, he makes fair. It to where it could be sensationalized just in general, and plus he's got a lot of pressure on his head right now. Right, everybody's trying to give him the Florida job. Will he take it? Is the big question.
Yeah, that's obvious, especially near the start of the press conference. Like that's the elephant in the room. So number one goal is, hey, I need to make sure that they're talking about something other than this Florida job. I need to make sure that the clip from this press conference that makes its waves on Twitter is not about the Florida job, is not me non-denial, this, that, and the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come right out and accuse Brent of cheating. What's funny is he said he talked to Hugh, his buddy Hugh, and said, yeah, they knew your plays. Funny he didn't tell Hugh beforehand that Brent was going to know his plays or anything like that. If he knew all this about Brent, like, oh, how convenient after they play. Oh, yeah, by the way, Brent knows your signals. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's just, again, it's a publicity stunt. I get Lane as entertaining, but I find him completely annoying. I think his shtick is like, for a guy who's never won anything outside of a couple conference titles at FAU, he's never won anything. And he's treated like Saban. I mean, he's treated like the absolute best coach in the sport. A job comes available. Oh, man, top hire's got to be Lane Kiffin. What has he done? He's never won anything. He didn't win in the pros. He hasn't won in college. He hasn't done anything.
He's got a lot of big high-profile jobs where, I mean, he's done good things there, I guess, at Ole Miss right now. But, like, yeah, his history does not show that he's been just that great.
Yeah, I mean, he had the best defense, like, in Ole Miss history a year ago. And what did he do with it? Nothing. Lost to Kentucky. Knocked him out of the playoff. Yeah. Like, it's...
best team you've ever had, that school's ever had.
Right. It's those kind of things, like, he's never done anything. Never done anything at USC, Tennessee. You know, sure, he was an OC, for Saban, and that worked out really well. But I just don't get why he's treated like, oh man, every school should have him at, the absolute top of their list at all times. It's like, I get his agent is a good one and he's going to rumor him to every job, but I don't know. Lane just annoys me, man. Like the shtick is knowing the daughter, dating Whit Weeks and, him running his dog's social media account, shirtless photos in a yoga studio with a couple of yoga teachers the day of a game. Like all this stuff is like, it's just weird. Like go win something. Except this weekend. Don't win this weekend.
This is the one you need to lose. We
lose this weekend.
Lose this one.
Yeah, lose this weekend, please.
So what do we think we need to see from? I think we know what we probably will see from the defense. We can get to them. Obviously, they're going to be the best offense we face, but I want to get to the offense because, like you guys are talking about, Ole Miss's rushing defense is not great, and their defense in general is one of the on the bottom half of the SEC, and so our offense is going to need to score. I think that holding Ole Miss's offense to like 17 points, I think is reasonable and a really good showing for our defense, in my opinion. But we're going to need to score, like over 3 touchdowns, potentially 4, to make this a super winnable game for us. So what do you think we need to see the offense do besides the obvious, which is run the football? But what would you like to see done?
Based upon the weather, really is going to tell me what I think the team should do. If it is as wet and muggy as we expect, don't put the ball in harm's way. Run the ball down their throat. And it's going to be on grass, so it's going to be things will be slippery. Just don't get too froggy. Just go out there, play sound ball, do like you did against South Carolina. Get out that bad boy with a double-digit win. Walk out the door. If the rain passes and it's not really raining during the game, I need to see Mateer throw the ball more. I know the secondary for Ole Miss isn't the greatest. I mean, we've seen them kind of get cooked up by a few teams.
Mm-hmm.
We need to continue to build on what we were seeing in the momentum that Mateer was having with his receiver room. Right, it slowed down once he had the injury and he didn't play against Kent State in the Texas game. It was, of course, that situation. But last game, it felt like he started to get some of it back. He started to feel like, oh, okay, he's getting back in the rhythm. The throws to where he's hitting outside shoulders to throw his receivers away from danger instead of to danger. There was still some dangerous passes, but it felt like he was way more in control, and I would like to see that expounded on. Of course, we're going to run. We need to continue to grow in running. We're getting stronger week over week, but I really want to see Mateer get back to his quote-unquote Heisman self.
Yeah.
200 yards passing, close to 100 yards rushing, touchdowns in the air and on the ground. I want to see him pad some stats if it's not raining. If it's raining, don't pad the stats. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with me, you said it, don't put the ball in harm's way. When you look at where Oklahoma has struggled this year, I mean, not only in the loss to Texas with his 3 interceptions, but also Oklahoma should have 3 shutouts right now. The reason they don't have 3 shutouts is because John Mateer threw 3 interceptions in Oklahoma territory, and all 3 of those were field goals that lesser opponents scored. So really, we've got the number 1 scoring defense in the country, I think. It should be significantly better. So, when I know it's kind of a razor's edge when you're looking at 3 points over a whole season, but 3 points 3 times, you're starting to influence a schedule, or you're starting to influence a whole number. So, it's going to come down to if Oklahoma does not turn the ball over, I feel like they win the game. If they turn the ball over, it's anybody's guess because it depends on when they do it, how they do it, where they do it, where on the field they do it, all that kind of stuff. So just protect the ball. It's going to be wet and rainy. Torrey Blaylock, freshman, has really covered up the ball well so far. I've talked to people who think he sometimes covers it up too much, where he's out in space and he's still holding onto the ball for dear life. I would much rather have that than the alternative of him being loose with the ball. So err on the side of caution. Xavier Robinson holds onto the ball well. Let those guys, run the rock, and then keep everything underneath for the most part. Let your wide receivers, your quick-footed wide receivers, get upfield, get your yards after the catch, things like that. I just think that if our defense is put in good situations, field position-wise, I really don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to move the ball down the field at a regular pace. The least they've scored this year is 24. They've done it twice in back-to-back weeks. They're coming on the road, 80 snaps last week. I think you can grind them into a fine dust with just violence in the trenches against an offensive line that doesn't give up a lot of sacks, but Chambliss gets out of there often. You just have to stop them short. Devote a spy to Chambliss because he is a stud. But I mean, this defense, like against every opponent, should not give up more than a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. No, I agree with both of you. I think it'll be interesting to see how it flushes out. I didn't even know the weather is supposed to be like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the game plans will be and how they could change based on the weather and whatnot. But yeah, we need to keep Chambliss locked up and make sure that I think to me against Texas, who's had the most success against our defense this year, unfortunately. We allowed Arch to break the pocket too much, and didn't do a good job of containing him in terms of what he's able to do outside. And of course, he's making throws on the money, moving to his left, wrong to his right. That against Kentucky he was skipping. So it's frustrating, but it is what it is. So we got to do a better job of limiting mobile quarterbacks like that. And obviously, Ole Miss's line is better than South Carolina. If we can have some sort of pressure on him like we did Norris, then it won't even give him that opportunity. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how our defensive line potentially takes over the game, because I think if they can do what they did in any capacity against South Carolina, then we get to see kind of what happens from a standpoint of if our secondary is going to hold up or not. If Chambliss has time, then anything can happen.
Yeah, and it's kind of confirmed that Chambliss is going to be the starting quarterback now. They're not going to play Austin Simmons, even though I guess he's fully healthy now.
I don't know why that would be why there would be any question.
I don't know why you would consider it either. Personally, like that to me, I think he's done enough to keep that job.
Yeah, more than
personally.
Enough.
But he did kind of struggle against Georgia, so I guess that may be what it is.
What was the score? Didn't they score 40 points?
It's like 43-38 or something like that.
So, but he struggled? I didn't see his stat line.
I think he was he completed like 52% of his passes. It was one of the lowest for him this season so far. Okay. So it didn't look as clean as it did all the other games.
Yeah.
But he was still throwing it. Like, he had no fear. I mean, it's 43-35. He was out there slinging it across everywhere. He had no fear of doing it. 19 for 36, 263, and a touchdown. Their run game is they ran the ball. They ran 4 rushing touchdowns at only 88 yards. That's wild to me still.
Whoa.
But
they had 88 yards rushing?
Rushing. That was it. Yeah, Georgia did not let them run on them. Georgia ran for 221 in that game. Though? But they had 4 rushing touchdowns. So they basically got there with the pass game and they ran it in.
And they ran it in. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Which makes sense, but yeah, he wasn't as, he didn't look, when I watched what portions I watched, he didn't look as clean as he did the previous games. He looked like he was pressured enough to, even though Georgia doesn't really get a whole bunch of pressure. It's kind of weird. It's a weird year.
All right, guys, let's give a score prediction for this weekend and kind of how we're feeling about good old Ole Miss. I know the spread is what, 4.5?
5.5 now.
Is it 5?
A lot of books.
Yep, you're moving.
Okay.
All the money's on Ole Miss too, and it's moving up. Tells me Vegas thinks we're going to blow them out, so they're just taking as many bets as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, on the touchdowns for Ole Miss, they had a fumble recovery their own. They had a 7-yard touchdown run. They had a 1-yard touchdown run. They had another 1-yard touchdown run. And then they had a 2-yard touchdown run. So, yeah, not exactly racking up the ground yards there.
At
But it
all.
means they're winning in the trenches against Georgia to push those across. So
Yep.
something to be keep a watchful eye on.
They just couldn't get any runs anywhere else on the field, but they could get it inside the red zone. Which,
Right.
hey, it's the money time, so it kind of matters. If that you're
Yep.
gonna get the money, at least get the push there. So I can't be mad at them for that.
So Kirby thinks Ole Miss is going to win 23-20. Les says 27-21 OU, 32-17 OU.
Oh man, I don't know if I can go in the 30s. I mean, I know this defense is bad. It's the worst defense we've played, like by far the worst defense we've played.
Power 4 at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Even-
mean, no, it is,
Temple?
but no, it's yeah. I'm playing, but I mean, there are some categories. Obviously, opponent, adjusted for opponent, they're much better, but they're 98th in the country in penalties. They're over 100th in sacks and in rush defense. They're the second worst team in rush defense in the SEC. The old fighting Bobby Petrinos are the only ones worse. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a rock fight if the weather's bad. And I like OU to get the victory. Close game. I'm thinking this is going to be like a 24-21 or 24-20 Oklahoma.
Topher says 24-13 OU with the rain.
I'm closer to us repeating to last week. I'm thinking 24-7.
If you hold Ole Miss to 7, then those people are. I mean, I like it.
Hold Ole Miss. I think we hold Ole Miss to under 10 points. I think that this defense shows legitimate. Plus, the weather makes it a lot more optimal. If they can't run, it's going to be hard to throw the ball, a wet ball, around the field.
Yeah.
We don't know what Trinidad looks like throwing a wet ball. So, I think I have more faith in our defense in preparation for that in comparison to him. So, I'm going to ride with that.
I like it. Hey, man, if they score 10 or less against us, then I think that would be a situation that if we're able to corral a Kiffin offense, right, a Chambliss offense, like it's at that point you got to put us in the top 8, top 7, like because that defense, like what other tests are out there that we need to pass, right? Like you've got to put us all the way up there. So if you win this game, I think we're number 9 probably, next week, but I think you got to put us up to like 7 if we do something like that to their offense. And Lane might go straight to Gainesville after that.
Yeah, you completely quit.
If we hold them to under 10, bro, like I'll be very loud because there's a lot of people that are like, not a lot. Let me relax. There's some people who are saying that they believe the defense is just very good, not elite, even though they're putting up elite numbers.
That's all I've been hearing.
Through 7 weeks. Like it's not like a small 7. It's over half the season. And they're top 3 in almost every category. So yeah, it just feels like some people, want to be negative. Well, we got to see it against a good offense first. I think if they're holding the 17, I still think you consider them an elite defense. Because Ole Miss is averaging 40 points a game?
Roughly. Yeah.
So
you keep a team under their averages, you've done your job. Like well under your average. Last year we were holding teams, I think the number that Phil Steele has said it was like 70 yards per game. We were holding teams under their season averages every game we played.
Like that.
We were, and now this year it's like 100. Like we're suppressing all the offenses that usually play at a very much high octane. If we can keep Ole Miss under 300 yards total offense, that's almost 200 yards less than what they normally get. Because they're like 491. That would be absurd. And that means they're not going to score. They're not going to score in the 37-point range like they normally do.
They're going to they average 32.5 points per game in SEC play. SEC play. I mean, obviously the Tulane and Georgia State scores don't help them, but the Washington State score does not hurt them. So But 32.5 in SEC play, that's pretty monstrous. But again, best defense they've played on the road, right after a tough game against Georgia, prime time, game day, big production, all that kind of stuff. And you got the distraction of the Florida job sitting right out there. So we will see. We will see. OU fans got to be there. They got to be loud. They got to create an environment. They got to make it hard for Chambliss to communicate the line of scrimmage. I think you get them. I think the key here, because a lot of people are like, oh, can the secondary hold up? I think the key is stopping them on first down, at least make them go for 2nd and 7 or longer, because they're going to want to take shots on 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, because you're fine coming back to a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 3. So you're going to have to win on first down and limit those downfield shots, on 2nd down and things like that. So this defense has been incredible at that so far. So they've just got to continue that, cause them a couple false starts, or Mason Thomas, Taylor Wine, cause a couple of holds, and put them behind the sticks and make them have to go against a pass rush that has their ears pinned back.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with penalties, by the way, as the chat is saying. What I was saying and what Gabe was saying was, hey, what's your first takeaway from the game? Which was, if your first takeaway was we need to work on our penalties, that can be a takeaway. I think we can all, Jay and Trav and I can all agree. We probably are penalized a little bit too much. Granted, the SEC officials also suck, but whatever.
We are 69th in the country in penalties per game, by the way. 69th.
That's awesome.
It's not great. Could be better.
Good stuff.
However,
I'm actually proud of them. That's good to me. Be violent.
That's nice.
Cause problems.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, the holding and the false starts and the blocks in the back on play. I was talking to Joe C in the press box, and he's like, God, we're just dumb penalties. Why are we blocking people in the back on kickoffs? I'm like, hey, you're telling me, Joe. Hey, yeah, go get them.
Right.
I'm like, you hired these guys. Go tell them. I'm like, you're still in charge, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
The run is bad boy. The run is ship, right?
He's on his way out. But no, we were saying the first takeaway should be, hey, the running game looked better. Hey, we controlled the whole game. That should be your first takeaway. Anyways, my official score prediction is going to be 23-14 23-14 OU.
Okay.
It's not bad. It covers the spread. That's all that matters.
Man, I'm giving them 20. It's crazy.
Well, what did you say we were scoring, Trav?
I said 24-20, Oklahoma.
24-20.
You didn't think Oklahoma covers the spread in this one.
Gotcha.
I still think the
No, I can see that. I mean, I think there's a world in which we don't and still win for sure. But if it's raining, I like our defense. And if we can find some semblance of a run game, especially against their wanted, not very good run defense, then
Yeah. That's the big question for me is what are we going to look like depending on the weather?
Yes.
Can we just slow down the pass? If we can slow down the pass, man, I could totally see us having a really good game.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to run.
Just got to go do it. Just have to go do it. Because these post games have been a lot of fun this year outside of Texas. So
it's a little much better.
Yeah, no, we got to get a dub so that I'll be at the Tennessee game, so I'll get to hang out with Trav for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be out there in Knoxville as well. I fly
okay,
out
we got
Friday afternoon.
We got to meet up then. We all got to meet up.
Yeah, ought to be good if you can go into that game. I mean, you'd be a top 10 team at that point if you can win this one. Just got to win this one. Get to 7-1, and then every game after that is just. I mean, you've got the SEC title game in your sights.
Yep.
So you get the SEC title game, you make the playoff. Simple as that. Yep. So.
Indeed.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for being with us, chat. We appreciate you guys. Even you, Kirby. We love you too. Jay, thanks, brother, for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Trav, I called him. I said we might as well not even call him friend of the show, just call him cousin of the show.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. He got his toothbrush here.
See, there you go. See, Trav knows. See, Trav knows. Toothbrush is back there.
Yep.
He ain't thrown it out yet, so it's all that matters. If it's not thrown out yet, we in good hands. I appreciate it, Jay.
It's still there. It's
Jay,
still there. Appreciate you.
Find you, man.
Yeah, find me here on YouTube at Unfair Sports, as well as over at Locked On Sooner. So yeah, appreciate it, and we'll be around post game over on Locked On. We'll be talking right after the game. I'm gonna be on my couch watching because there's all these SEC games I really want to watch this weekend. I really want to see what the heck's gonna happen.
Yeah. I need some to play spoiler, man. It really pissed me off that Kentucky and Auburn both fumbled the bag last week.
Destroyed it. But
that could have made for the most glorious weekend.
Oh man.
Missouri and Texas being knocked out of the playoff hunt by two winless SEC teams.
But you said it. The teams are like 2-10 on back-to-back road games.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State's not bad.
I know. And also Texas missing their best safety.
Yep.
And Levy likes to throw it deep, score from far. #dime time. Let's go.
Let's go. Dime time. And he got two wide receivers that caught 100 yards last week, and Evans and Brennan Thompson. Let's go.
Telling you.
I know. I will be watching that.
Love it.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Cheers.
Boomer.
Sooner. Thunder up.